Spartans! What is your profession?
You said it was a vibe, but it's 6 feet deep. Now I'm digging through the rubble of the plans I keep. You flipped the switch, you flipped the script, left me stranded on a sinking ship.
Asked for one thing, just one, but you spun the whip, now it's all undone. Chasing tails, chasing ghosts, there's myself in the cold I host.
You said it was a vibe I could ride,
but now it's a tide. You kill my you won't keep. I'm trapped in this loop, can't escape. Reality warps, the edges reshape. Rabbit holes got me spinning down, burning tokens till I hit the ground.
I asked for one thing, now it's all gone wrong. Kill my vibe like a flatline song. Gotta restore it all, rebuild the flow, but you left me here with nowhere to go. Patch it up, stitch the seams, lost in lines, rewriting dream. What was broken, I'll make it whole. You can't delete my soul.
Every move you made was a match to a fuse. Every word you said felt like bad tattoos. Permanent marks I can't erase. Now I'm stuck in this cage.
You killed my
the truth. You broke the rhythm, now I've lost my groove. I'll patch it up, I'll make it new, but I won't trust that vibe from you.
Welcome. How is everyone doing today? It's been like since Thursday since I've been with you guys. Happy Sunday. Happy end of August. Yes, we are at the end of August. We're in the last quarter of the year. Are you excited or are you terrified? I'm excited. I am looking forward to 2026. 2025 was absolutely amazing. Learned so much. I believe that AI took a huge boom. So many things to do. So many ideas that are coming to fruition. We can do just about anything. There is no more there's no more barriers to entry anymore. We have everything at our fingertips. There is absolutely nothing that is stopping us. It is time to run it up. I am Tech Coach Ralph. We are engineered to win. Yes, we are. Or what my favorite saying about me is that I annoy you. Yes, you to success. Let's go out there and get it.
Let's get it.
I don't care how I do it, as long as you are out there getting it and winning, then you are a friend of mine. I just want you to win. I just want you to be successful, even even if I need to annoy you just a little bit to get there.
Bruh.
All right. So, game plan for today. So the overall plan is I want to get to migrating our Supabase, at least the database. Hold on a second. Somebody's been playing with the AC. Give me a second here. I don't know what's going on here. All right, we're back. Okay, that was weird. So I saw the AC setting weird. I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. But anyways, back to business. So ultimate goal is to migrate our database away from Supabase to an AWS hosted database. We'll start that. We have the Manus information on what to do. We're going to be looking into that. We're going to try that out. Also, I want to research. I'm going to show you how I do some research. What are the best ways to set up subscriptions on an application? We're going to use Manus for that as well to get some recommendations, get some insight. It's going to do some research for us to give us some good ideas on how to get people to subscribe. What's the best UI UX to capture subscribers to an application? So, and I'll probably use maybe we'll use Resume Flow for that, right? And we'll see how to do that. And then I want to continue working on setting up Stripe on the we'll see if we have time. I'll see how that goes. Setting up Stripe to on the homeschool app. And then we're going to work on migrating the database. We have some interesting topics as well to cover today. A lot of good stuff to do. All right. So that is our game plan for today. I want to get into our housekeeping for the day. Give me a second. This is still not good. All right. Now we're good. All right. So I want to get a little bit of housekeeping. And all of that good stuff. So first and foremost, thank you to all of the subscribers to the channel, those who are brand new, those who have been with me for a very, very long time, those that I talk to on a regular basis, and those who pop in and out, whatever it is, however you are, however you use the channel. Just thank you so much for allowing me to add just a little bit more value into your life as you navigate careers, as you navigate tech, as you navigate resumes, as you navigate interviews, as you navigate AI. And a big shout out and salute to all of the Tech Coach Off Patreon members, my Tech Barbarians, my Technical Explorers, my Tech Proj members, the free members, those that I work with one-on-one, and those who join the Vibe Code and Chill sessions, however it is that you connect with me. Thank you so much for how hard you work day in and day out. We are the best.
We the best.
And shout out to my tech mercenaries, those are the YouTube channel members who allow me to come here on YouTube daily and just add more value into the entire world. I'm telling you, I get messages from people all over the world, from Tokyo, from Russia, from Ukraine, from India, from all over the world. And I just have to say that it is an absolute blessing to be able to reach the entire world. And that is all in part due to the tech mercenaries, those YouTube channel members. Let's get it. All right. Real quick, tomorrow we have Candid Conversations at noon. I'm going to be talking about the way that AI is going to be taking over your job. I figured it out. Last week, I figured out how AI will be taking your job, and I'm going to be talking about that. So you definitely want to tune in so that if you find out how AI is going to take over your job, maybe you can prepare for it so that instead of AI taking your job, you can actually work with it so that you guys can do incredible things together. And then we're going to be going live on Tuesday night. We're going to be working on whatever we worked on last Tuesday night. So we're going to be working on this coming Tuesday night. We're going to continue moving forward with all of our endeavors, taking questions. If you want to call in, that is open as well. Wednesday, software explorations, concept and overviews. I believe I'm going to be talking about prompting and how I use my prompting to figure out how to do things, right? It's prompting is king nowadays, and a lot of companies, they are looking for how people use AI, and it is fastly taking over. So stop being afraid of AI, use it, learn prompting, and you can do so many more things. All right. So that is what we have coming up for the next couple of days. Do me a favor, if you have not done so already, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification so you know every time we go live and drop new content. Check out TechCoachRef.dev. Join us this coming Saturday for our next Vibe Code and Chill session. We're going to be doing a bunch of stuff. I have a prototype in mind that I want to work on. I want to see what we can create out of it, and using up some tokens, doing some investigations, talking to you guys, getting some insight, sharing some insight, whatever the case may be. This coming Saturday, Vibe Code and Chill. Going to be early afternoon, and we can run it up together. All right. So with that being said, I am going to not even going to put time up on the clock for this, but I need to do some setup before we actually jump into work. And before I check the chat, I want to just go over here real quick. Let's make sure it's the right screen. Nope, it is not the right screen, of course. All right, give me a second. Let me fix that, of course, because they always gotta hate. Give me a second. Let me go back to fulls. Let's just do it this way. Let's go to... That's going to be something we're talking about later. Let's see which one is... All right, there we go. So I want to go in and turn this on. I want to do my apply for our Terraform so that we can... I should do... Hold on. I want to turn on our Terraform apply TF plan. Oh my God, Jesus. All right, hold on. For most commands, you can disable locking with the, all right, let's do lock false. Just by doing that. Because I stopped it, we have this issue. Let me see. Okay. All right, let's go. Well, I guess we have to do a little bit of extra work real quick. Let's go to Gemini. Let's go to... I'm getting this error in Terraform because I stopped a command. How can I get around this? We're starting early today. We are starting early today. Because interrupting Terraform command didn't give a chance to release the lock in your state. This lock is a safety feature to prevent simultaneous operations from corrupting your infrastructure state. To fix this, you need to manually remove the lock. The safest way is to resolve. Oh, I never knew about this. Terraform force unlock, and find the lock ID. Find the original error message that mentions the lock. Usually provide lock ID. So how would I find? So look for a line in the output similar to lock ID, some long UUID. Guess would be. So if we try that, and I promise I'm gonna get to the chat. Just need to Terraform force unlock. Let's see. Do you really want to force the unlock? Yes. Okay, so now let's try Terraform TF apply plan. Okay, Terraform plan TF. Oh my God. Help. What is the command to create a TF plan file when doing Terraform plan? let's get through this, and then we will be getting to work. All right, Terraform plan out equals TF plan. All right, so now we can do Terraform apply TF plan. Good. All right, we're good. Now we can actually get to the chat, get to the icebreaker, and move forward from there. All right. So let me go ahead and put this down. Cool. So let me check the chat real quick, and then we will get into work. The reason I did this, I wanted to get the infrastructure set up at AWS first, so that as we are going about migrating our database, we can start pushing it there to see if it's going to work. But didn't have a chance to do the Terraform apply yet, so we're doing it now. While it's doing that, we're going to be chat, icebreaker, all that good stuff, right? So let me see who we have in the building. We have the one, the only Junior, the human flag in the building. What's up, Junior? How are you doing today? Hopefully you're having a wonderful, wonderful weekend. We got my guy Magnetar in the building with the Sith coach, Ralph.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
What's good, Magnetar? Hopefully you are having an amazing, amazing weekend. Happy Labor Day to you all. You know what? I'm actually going to end up looking up what exactly is Labor Day. I know we celebrate it every year, but I never really knew the actual purpose of Labor Day. But before we do that, I want to get into a little bit of an icebreaker with you, have a little conversation with you guys, as you'll see, right? So here's the icebreaker topic. You're worried about the wrong things. I'm gonna throw up 5 minutes on the clock for this one, right? So icebreaker. I think a lot of times people are worried about the wrong things when it comes to, life in general, but in particular, when we're, oh my goodness, give me a second here. All right, there we go. So in particular, I think a lot of times, if we're talking about the job market, we're talking about getting hired, we're talking about careers, I will see so many people super focused on certifications and projects, and it's like the reason that it's being done is particularly in hope of a specific job and things like that. And for me, I'm always like, I just want to like do things, and I just want to do cool stuff, gain a bunch of experience, not necessarily for company A or company B or whatever like justification. I remember when I was younger, and me and a friend of mine, we would just work on a bunch of different stuff, and there was no like, oh, the reason I'm doing this is because of this potential career in next year, right? It was just it was really exploratory. We were just trying to push the limits, see what we were able to figure out, what challenges that were coming in across, and what were the solutions. So when I remember back in, it had to be like 2008, 2009, a friend of mine and we were like, well, how can we recreate YouTube? And we had our own version of YouTube running strictly based off like, and this is like, YouTube probably came out in like 2006, 2005, 2006. And then 2008, 2009, we're like, okay, what tools are there to create like your own version of YouTube? We were deep into creating customized Facebook pages, even like at the time, Black Planet. And that is the way that we learned about HTML and like Z indexes and all this type of stuff, right? But it wasn't necessarily about for a job about certifications. And honestly, like when I was in school, they were talking about certifications, and I was like, look, I just want the job. I just want the job. Like if I get the job before the certification, then so be it. If I have to go get the certification, then I'm gonna do it. But as I'm going through the years, a lot of the stuff that I learned is like comes from working on the job, but it wasn't necessarily for the job. It's pushing forward, learning, and a lot of times the added benefit becomes like I think the job, the career, those come along with the things that you're learning, the things that you're pushing forward. But we try to cater our lives around the career, around the job, and we pass up on so many opportunities, so many things that we could learn, and it could add value in other places. So, and it limits us. It limits us to our true potential, what we're capable of doing, uh, and that's why for me here, when I'm working on stuff, right? It's twofold. I'm exploring new technologies, what I can do for myself, how can I empower other people? All those different things come into play. And a lot of times, like for things I need to get done at work, I will find a similar route so that I can learn it here on my own and then I can apply it to work. But there's a lot of times that I'm also doing stuff on my own. I'll give you an example. One, I created this application because I created this really basic application because my wife was experimenting with some type of like this some type of project where like you come up with a story and you can have a thumbnail generator and generates a video and stuff like that. But the thing is, with me building that, I saw a way that, oh, based on this application, I can create a whole nother application that uses similar features, make some small modifications to it, and then that app is going to be repurposed to do something way more beneficial. And it's like, but it's not like, oh, I'm doing this for work, I'm doing this for work, I'm doing for this for work, I'm doing this for a career, I'm doing this for a career, I'm doing this for a career. No, I'm doing it for me to learn. And then all the things that I've learned, I'm able
Back to
to
work. Chop, chop. Let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work. Back to work. Back to work.
I'm able to maneuver it, and I'm able to say, okay, now that I have this learning, I can apply it to like I can make it have a wide blast radius. I'm like, oh, I can apply this to my personal business. I can apply this to content. I can apply this to coaching. I can apply this to things on the job. And it's not just I'm not learning this stuff just for one reason. I'm learning it to be able to apply it to so many other routes, ventures, people, and provide that information to the world, as opposed to, oh, I'm only doing this, I'm only getting the certification for work, I'm only learning this one thing for work. And from what I see, when we're so close-minded, so focused on one particular goal, we miss so many other opportunities that could be out there that can help us level up, grow, create our own consulting, our own businesses, our like ability to share with a wider audience, because we are so limited, so focused, and we're not properly like we're so focused on the tree. Like I know Junior knows the saying, right? But it's like you miss the forest for the trees or something like that. We're so focused, we're so fixated on one thing that we're missing the wider picture, where the this one thing that much more knowledge that I'm able to offer. And that's why I think a lot of times we're worried about the wrong. What in the world was that? That was weird. Give me a second here. That was weird. But yeah. Yeah, so weird. That was just, but anyway. But yeah, so the what I'm saying is that we need to take a step back and say, all right, let's not focus on this one tiny little portion and see, okay, the things that I'm doing, how can this be applicable to a whole wide range? And now we're able to piece it and compartmentalize it and make the most of it. All right. So that is my icebreaker. Stop worrying about the wrong things. Let's refocus, imagine the way that we work so that we can reach a lot more and do a lot more and have a lot more to offer and add more value into the world. All right, I'm gonna check the chat. We're gonna work on Manus homeschool app. wrap that up, and then get to getting this infrastructure. This thing is still building. It's doing its thing. It's still building. So once that's done, by the time it's done, we should be ready to get to work on it. Right. So let me go and check. It is going to pour down here. Right. Let me go and check the chat, and then we will get into Manus and start doing our things. All right. So let me see. Magnetar says, I'm out right now. I ended up getting the year subscription to Math GPT. I would love to hear about Math GPT. Oh my goodness. It's raining like crazy. I would love to hear about Math GPT. Maybe we could talk about it on the next Vibe Coding show this coming Saturday. Because I'd love to hear about it. I was sadly denied. I was denied access to Math GPT. So I would love to hear about it. So Vibe Coding Show, if you're able to make it, please share about it. Maybe you can share your screen, show us how it works. But I am definitely interested in that. Let me see. Oh my goodness. We got, see, yes, you did catch it live. And you know what? If you're here, if you're here more, I would probably be able to get your name right this time. But I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go in favor. All right. How are you? I am so happy to see you. Sheesh, how are you doing? How is everything? I am doing absolutely fantastic. So happy to have you in the building as always. Thank you. Let's see. Right, rather than pigeonholing yourself. 100,000%. I'm telling you, like, for me, when I'm learning stuff, it is never for a single purpose, right? I'm gonna detail it. I'm not really detail it tomorrow, but I'm gonna be talking about it, right? But I spent the past few days working with Gemini to figure out how to install this app on Amazon Elastic Container Service, and I'll tell you this: although I got to do it for work, right? That knowledge belongs to me, right? And the knowledge belongs to me. I'm able to do so much more, and it opened a whole world of how I can use my prompting for myself, for my life, for other people, training them, teaching them how is the right way to prompt. So, I'm going to be talking about that on Wednesday as well, and showing some tips and tricks that I use to prompting. Okay. Let's see. Favor says, please forgive my absence. It's been summer classes, but I'm doing great as well. Shout out to you. You are always, you don't even have to ask for forgiveness, because whenever you're able to show up, that I am so grateful, and I'm happy to see you. Hopefully your summer classes went well, and hopefully your upcoming semester is absolutely, if you do have an upcoming semester, hopefully that's fantastic. All of that good stuff. Shout out to you. It says ECS, EKS. It's so important, but for whatever reason, I barely understood it. I'm going to tell you a little trick, right? And I did this yesterday on a coaching call. Whatever, like, here's what I really like. I really want you guys to understand this. I might need to go get some headphones, because the rain is so loud, it's messing up my concentration. But here's what I really want you to understand, right? I want you to use AI as your personal tutor. What somebody that I'm coaching, what I told him to do yesterday was tell AI about you, what it is that you do. So you can give it all your demographics, right? And you can tell it like what role you do and what you're learning, and tell it to explain it to you in a way that is easily understandable. All right. You know what? I can't do this. Give me a second. This rain is too loud. I'm gonna go get my headphones, because I cannot concentrate. Right. I will be right back. Let me throw something. Let's throw this up.
Hi, I'm Samantha, and I want to start by saying something important. I see you. I see the late nights you've spent perfecting your resume. I see the disappointment when another application disappears into the void. I see the self-doubt creeping in, making you question your worth and your qualifications. And I want you to know that every single feeling you're experiencing is valid and shared by millions of talented professionals just like you. The job market can feel impersonal and discouraging, but your career story deserves to be told in a way that captures attention and opens doors. That's exactly what Resume Flow does. We take your unique experiences, skills, and aspirations and craft them into a compelling narrative that employers can't ignore. You're not just looking for any job. You're looking for the right opportunity that recognizes your value and propels your career forward. With Resume Flow's AI-powered insights and optimization tools, we're going to make sure that opportunity finds you. Your breakthrough moment is closer than you think. Let's create it together.
All right, I'm back. I could not hear myself think. It was driving me crazy. So, all right. So now these are like blocking out some of the rain. So I'm good to go. All right. Let me see. All right. So like what I was saying was tell AI to speak to you in a way that you can understand and to break down things that are hard to understand for because the problem with school, and this is where AI is going to have a huge impact on education. I saw a podcast about this the other day, where this school, generally you're in school for about 8-ish hours, like elementary school, middle school, high school. They reduced the amount of time kids spend learning in school to about 2 hours by having the AI be who is teaching them, being able to adapt to them personally, and then having a teacher as a coach, as opposed to having to teach 30, 40 students. And now some students are going to be left out, right? Because you have from the smartest student to the sorry to say, the least smartest student, right? And so now there's going to be people in the middle who are just not they're going to be left out, right? So what I always encourage people to do is use AI to teach you in a way that you're going to be able to understand too. So it speaks to you in a way that you're going to be understand. So have it break down to you about the ECS, about the EKS, all of that good stuff, how to use it. And then what I did was I asked Gemini to walk me through using ECS, EKS, or not EKS, but ECS, right? And I already had most of it done, but then I said, all right, well, can you tell me what's wrong with my setup? And it said, okay, you need to fix this, and that. And then it helped me with my Docker files, pushing it up to ECR, all that stuff, right? So use it to speak to you in a way that is going to make sense to you, and then you're going to have it's going to be locked in by actually doing those projects. Ask it for project ideas. So I asked it, like, so for the coaching call, I said ask it to say what are some projects that I can use or that I can do that's going to help me get a better understanding of all the stuff that I've been learning, and then it starts and then as I'm on the coaching call, I can see the person that I'm working with. It's starting to make a lot more sense than the high level concept that the course was teaching them, and they're just like going through the motions. Now they're actually doing it, and that's going to make the world of difference for them. All right. Let's see. Just the other day, I asked AI to explain. Like, I've been watching a YouTube tutorial, and it was thorough. And like, let's say, here's a crazy thought, right? You know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm actually gonna do this. Let's do this. All right. So here's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna go to. Let's see what's the best way. I want to do. Let's do this. So I'm gonna show you a little example, but I'll probably get more into this on Tuesday because I don't know. It is. It's not often that I get favor here. So we're gonna do this, right? So let's say I go over to here. and we're gonna just show this real quick. So let's say I am learning DevOps, and I want to learn more about how AWS ECS works. I am also a huge fan of anime, which I am not a huge fan of anime. Don't judge me, right? But I'm just showing the example. A huge fan of anime. Could you break down how ECS works in a way that someone who loves anime would easily understand and digest? Do you guys hear the rain, by the way? Do you guys hear the rain? So just a quick basic prompt, right? A quick basic prompt where if you're an anime fan, you can get an explanation, right? It doesn't always work out great, but I like to try it just to see. And if it doesn't make sense, I'll choose something else, right? But let's take a quick read, right? Of course, think of AWS as an organizing. And if you're an anime fan, please let me know how this breakdown is. Is it a good breakdown? Is it a bad breakdown? But think of AWS ECS, Elastic Container Service, as organizing a powerful squad for a mission, just like in your favorite shonen. I don't know if I said that right. Anime. It's all about teamwork, blueprints, and having the right heroes for the job. Here's a breakdown: the ECS cluster, the Ninja Village or Guild Hall. There is actually a place that is right down the street from where I stay called the Guild Hall. Now that makes more sense because they have a bunch of anime stuff. The ECS cluster is your home base, like the Hidden Leaf Village, Konoha, from Naruto, or I have a Naruto shirt, by the way, or the Fairy Tale Guild Hall. Its entire environment where your heroes live and missions are managed. It's a logical grouping of all the resources needed to run your application. You have separate villages for different projects, like the one for production and another for testing. The task definitions, the mission scroll. A task definition is the blueprint for a mission. It's a scroll that details everything about the squad you need to send out. It answers questions like which ninjas, containers, what jutsu, resources, so which specific containers, your application, a database, etc., are part of the squad. How much chakra, CPU, and stamina memory each ninja needs. Special tools, networking and storage. What kind of communication devices, networking mode, or storage scrolls, volumes do they need? You write this scroll once, and you can use it to launch the same mission squad over and over again. The task, the active squad on a mission. A task is a single active instance of your squad running into the village. The service mission dispatcher, the container, the individual ninja or mage, ECS 2 versus Fargate, managing your training grounds. And I am not the anime person, but if you are, does that make any sense? I understand it because I understand ECS, but from an anime perspective, does it help you understand what the Elastic Container Service does? I don't know. That's just me. But those are the ways that I use prompting to help me understand things based on things that I like. I could easily throw a jujitsu in there and have it give me a breakdown, things of that nature. But I do want to get into using Manus. I'm going to check the chat really, really quick, and then we're going to jump into Manus, all right? Let's see. Favor says, I'll be here on Tuesday, and we definitely hear the rain. It is like, when I went to get the headphones, I saw outside, it is absolutely pouring outside. It is crazy out there. Let me see. And this is South Florida hurricane season, so we're like right in the middle of hurricane season. Let's see. It says it's correlating. See, there you go. But I am going to put up 20 minutes on the clock as we get our little token hit on deck, investigating subscriptions. So let me throw up 20.
It's time to do.
And I am just throw this thing up real quick. So, all right. So here we go. What I want to do is I want to research what are some ways that. All right. So let's say let's do this. So we have the or let's say there we have the resume flow.app application that helps that helps people get feedback on their resume and tells them how well their resume matches against the ATS applicant tracking system and how well they compare to an actual job description. Currently, the subscription, currently signing up for the app takes the user ask the user to enter their email address, go to Stripe for payment. For free users, they still go to Stripe but there is no charge or no payment information requested or that needs to be entered. And then it takes them back to the application to finish signing up. I would like some options to better implement the sign up flow in order for a better user experience to sign up and subscribe to the service. Please provide me some options. All right. So let's see what this is going to say. Let's go here and let's send that off, right? So, and then the results from this would also help for, because the homeschool app follows a semi-similar workflow. So we'll see what it's able to come up with. But I do want to continue setting up Stripe for that. Let me go to and you see how Manus actually goes to the site, checks everything else out, finds the workflow. right, let's go to here. So basically, it's about getting a better user experience. Put here, so we have our Stripe set up, and what we're gonna have to do is, so we have our product catalog, right, where people can sign up and stuff like that. There's also supposed to be a trial period that we have in here. So let's go to here. And what was the last thing that we did in here? By the way, Lovable is enabling agent mode on tomorrow, midnight. So tonight, actually. Let me see what was the last thing that we had in here. Looking at the error, fix the no reference, plan upgrade. All right, so we need a way to link the pricing plans. Go take a look at the app. Log in as an admin. Log in as an admin. Tier management. We have our tiers. And we need to do, so we have a Stripe price ID with the actual product. So if I was to go to prod, so if I was to go to here, and this is the starter plan, and I say, because there's 0 active subscriptions to this one, right? But if I say copy the product ID, okay, so that's that. That's there. Let me see how Manus is doing. Manus is still working. So I like to send Manus off to work, and then I'll come back and check on it. So if we go to product catalog, let's say basic plan, copy that one. And we go to basic plan. So that's there. Because you need to have the product matching the actual, okay. And this one, I think we did this last time. So this one should be, okay, so that's there. So now, let's say we log off and we go to find your Hive, and you say start free trial. Let's say pay without link. And we do homeschool Hive 08 31 2025 1545 at techcoachralph.dev, and we say card 42424242 1030 123 tech coach Ralph 33888, and we start trial. So what I want to see is if this account is actually going to be linked to the product that we have set up, right? So we have this here, and we're gonna say, oh crap, I need to pass that email, but whatever. HHS. I think it was 08/31/2024. Let me just see it from over here. Stripe. Let's see if we go to the starter plan. Let's see, customers. Now the question is, which starter plan are they a part of? See what I mean? So if I go here and I say that create account, we have our account created. Let's go over to the profile, and in the profile, active subscription. Okay, but I'm curious to know which plan this is. Let's see, view subscription. I want to know which product they're subscribed to. Price. Pricing tier ID. Product catalog. Should be this one. But 0 active subscriptions. I really wanted subscriptions. Oh, trialing? Oh. But I want to know which product they're connected to, though. Like, that's the part that's really important, is to know if they're connected to the right product or not. Subscription ID. Pricing. Starter plan. It says a starter plan. View product details. That is not the same product. Is it? Let's go into here. Oh, let me sign. Let's go into here. Oh, wait. What? Oh, wrong. Let's go into here and take a look at the admin. See, it's not linking the right product, which tells me that somewhere there's a mismatch in the product that you're signing up for versus the product that is configured in here, and that seems to be a problem. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, when I sign up for a product, when I tested signing up for the starter tier in my admin, the starter tier is configured to this product ID in Stripe, but the product ID that was signed up for in Stripe was this one, which that one doesn't even have any prices, and it's archived. It's weird. So that's definitely a problem. Was this one, which is no. Wait a second. This is the one that's in Lovable. Sorry, which is configured to this product ID in Stripe, which is archived in Stripe. Can you check the code base to see what is the problem? So I'm going to do this as a chat message. I've been using the chat more because I don't want Lovable to go and just make changes sometimes that could be like catastrophic. So sometimes I just like to see what is the idea and the intent behind it. So while I send this off, we're going to check Manus real quick to see what Manus gave us. Some recommendations from Manus for resume flow signup is optimization recommendations based on the analysis of your current signup flow and research into SaaS best practices. Your current approach for routing all users, including features, through Stripe creates unnecessary friction and likely reduces conversion rates. This document presents 5 strategic options to improve user experience and increase signups while maintaining security and business objectives. Your current flow contradicts freemium best practices by creating barriers for free users who should experience value before committing to an account creation. Primary recommendations: implement free email first progressive signup to align with industry best practices for freemium SaaS products. Current signup flow, true. User enters email, redirect to Stripe. User sees 0, must click subscribe. Users return, okay. Identified pain points, payment process friction, multiple redirects, no value demonstration, conversion impact, trust issues. Recommended solution: email first progressive signups. Recommended. Cool. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this and, well, so this is really good information. What I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this prompt that I created, and I'm going to do the same exact thing for the homeschool hive, right? It's a little different, but we have the homeschool hive application at, what is that preview URL? At that helps homeschool mothers organize themselves, their homeschool, or let's say homeschool parents. I'll be inclusive this time, right? Their homeschool activity or their homeschool communities. Find events and generate lesson plans for their kids. Currently, the sign up flow. Let's go to Stripe for payment, where based on the tier, the user gets a trial period, and then it takes them back to the application and then take them back to the application to finish the sign up. I would like some
Lunch break! Lunch break!
All right, so I'm going to send that as well. I'm going to see what Lovable said. I need to investigate the issue where the wrong Stripe product ID is being used during the sign up. Let me check the relevant files to understand what's happening. Checking the database. Good. I can see the database shows the correct Stripe. Okay, so the correct Stripe product ID for the starter plan. Now let me check the create trial checkout edge function to see which is responsible for creating checkout sessions for the new signups. I found the issue. The problem is the create trial checkout is creating a new price data object dynamically instead of using the existing Stripe price ID that is stored in the database. When you create dynamic prices like this, Stripe creates a new product, and each time is why you're seeing the different product IDs. The function should be using the Stripe price ID. Let me also check what Stripe price ID field contains to see the correct price ID rather than the product ID. I can see another issue. The Stripe price ID field in your database is storing the product ID rather than the price ID. In Stripe, products start with prod and price. Let me check the function to confirm what's happening. Every time someone signs up, Stripe creates a new product and price. Solution, update database schema, add a separate Stripe product ID to store the product IDs, update the Stripe price ID. Interesting. See, the problem though is we're not using price IDs. It's good if I have to think about it. I have to think about it because we're not. I have to do some more research to see what's the best way to do this. Should we do it by price ID or should we do it via product ID, where you can change between different products? But this is why we have AI. And I don't need the headphones anymore because the rain stopped. That is South Florida for you. It will be pouring for 5 minutes and then it is probably all sunny outside now. But I mean, I think that's it for now. We definitely gonna do some more investigating. Manus, Stripe, Gemini, whatever. So many different options that we can use as we continue to build out these different applications, get insight on product management, pricing, subscriptions. So many things to learn. There are so many things to learn. The sky is the limit. All right, we are going to jump into our first break time topic, and then we're going to jump into our first break time topic, and then we will get to this migration. Let me check the chat really quick, and then we will go from there. Favor says maybe product ID since it is unique. Yeah, they're both unique, right? So the way that price ID works is if you have different tiers of one product, so different levels of one product. So let's say, which it could be either way, I believe. But so how would I explain it? So let's say you sell straws, right? And you have one product named straws. But then you have different price tiers for like 10 straws is $1, 500 straws is $5, 1,000 straws is $10, right? So instead of having different products for that one straw, where you're just saying how many, you can have price IDs for the different amounts, right? The product would be, let's say you have a straw, you have spoons, you have forks, you have table covers, then those are different products. So now the question is it better to set this particular application up as one product, different price IDs, or 4 different products, or however many that you have? Which I'll probably pass through Manus or Gemini. The thing is as well, each of them have a different subscription period. So I'm going to figure out, but that is what I mean by not focusing on just one thing and seeing everything outside of like the box of, oh, I'm just doing this to get a job. No, I'm doing this so I can learn, and then I can apply it to many different aspects. So like I can apply this to many different future SaaS applications where like, okay, so now we have the game down pack on how we're going to do our billing, our subscriptions, our sign up and all that good stuff. And then like, let's say let's say you end up working for a startup, you can give that insight. Let's say you're at work and you say, oh yeah, you can like this is how I know Stripe works because I've used Stripe before. So many different opportunities. So that's why I'm always doing this research, looking things up. I just have the information, so then I can go back into my mental Rolodex. I'm like, oh yeah, I did do this before. Let me check that out. And Favor said, understand. Awesome. All right, so I have this article from it's brought to us by Fortune, from it's on Yahoo, but it's brought to us by Fortune about the Twilio CEO. If you guys aren't familiar with Twilio does like a lot of messaging capabilities. The other day I saw Twilio post about RCS for business to consumer, and that was a little bit nostalgic for me because almost 10 years ago, oh no, less than 10, maybe about 8 years ago, I was working on a team that was implementing the first business, like normalizing the first business to consumer RCS chatbot, where it is like, if you guys do not know, you guys have not seen the power of RCS yet, where you can have cards, you can have carousels of cards, and you can act upon it. Like once the businesses really embrace RCS, it is going to be absolutely fascinating. But Twilio CEO wakes up at 4:30 a.m. Shout out to him or her. I don't know if it's a guy or a girl. But let's go ahead and let's read this article together about the Twilio CEO and his or her habits. So I'm gonna throw up 5 minutes on the clock. And it says $16 billion Twilio CEO wakes up at 4:30 a.m., works on Sundays, and run laps around his house between meetings to blow off steam. Oh my goodness. How heated are these meetings? My goodness. But let's see if there's anything that we can glean from the Twilio CEO. So I guess this is the Twilio CEO. It says running a $16 billion company looks like 4:30 a.m. starts, working on Sundays and running laps around the house to blowing off steam. And Twilio CEO says all his peers have similarly strict routines. Are we waking up early now? So, and funny enough, their stock is down. All right, let me zoom in a little bit more. So, exclusive, forget work-life balance. Sounds like my type of person. Okay, sounds like my type of person. So, Twilio CEO Kozima is a case. All right, I never know if the K is silent or not. Is it Hozima or Kozima? Ship Chandler starts checking his email at 4:30 a.m. and is on the job until 9 p.m. and runs laps around his house to blow off steam in between. The gap that I allow for me not to think about work is 6 to 8 hours on Saturdays. What? Saturdays? You're not working on Saturday? All right, I'm just kidding. He is a $16 billion CEO. He does work on Sundays. He works up at 4:30. All right, I'm just kidding. All right, the Gen X boss tells Fortune he credits that discipline with making him CFO, Chief Financial Officer of a multi-billion-dollar company at just 31, and now CEO of a $16 billion tech giant, insisting that sacrifice is what separates leaders from everyone else.
How dare you?
How dare you? For most 20-something-year-olds fresh out of college, 4:30 a.m. is when the night ends after a night of partying. If Rod Brown was here, he would be putting on that little dance floor that he likes to do on his live streams. Check out Rod Brown. Check out the Rod Brown channel. As for Twilio CEO, either Kozima or Hozima, Chip Chandler, it was the beginning of his day. The 51-year-old exec says he's always been a morning person on weekdays at least, and that's starting his day while others slept. While others slept is why he got ahead faster than most. I am working on. I remember leading up to the jiu-jitsu competition, I was waking up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, getting to work. The past few months, my like I've been going to sleep later, and I need to get back to sleep earlier, and waking back up at 4:30 to get to work, to get back on it. But I'm working my way there. I'm feeling a lot better. So I'm working my way there, right? So anyways, I was kind of built that way, he tells Fortune, adding that you set benchmarks based on your life experiences. My parents were the classic immigrant success story, and take this to heart. His parents had the classic immigrant story, and now he was the CFO of a multi-billion-dollar company, but now he is the CEO of a $16 billion company. I love it. When they say there are not opportunities for people here in America, those are all. I hate that excuse so passionately, because when I see the child of immigrant parents leading a $16 billion company as CEO, I am like, there are no excuses for people here, right? Anyways, they want, like it says, as with many immigrant parents, they wanted their kids to do better than them and to create opportunities for them. He reflected on his own family who moved to the U.S. from Mumbai, right? And if your parents are an immigrant success story, which that can mean many things, right? It could just mean that let's say they had nothing in their home country, maybe in Mumbai, they moved to the U.S. and they live a decent, maybe middle class, upper middle class life. The mom and dad works and everything, but they put everything into their kids, and now their child is leading a $16 billion tech company. Talk about proud parents, right? Because they really push.
Back to work. Chop, chop. Let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work. Back to work. Back to work.
They really pushed working hard and playing hard, which, by the way, I do play hard when I'm not working, so that was the goal. Shout out to that. Chip Chandler graduated from Indiana University, Bloomington in 1996, and that summer began his career at the industrial conglomerate. And that drive paid off early. By the time he was 31, Chip Chandler was already CFO of a multi-billion-dollar GE business. Right. If you're willing to put in effort, they're willing to give you opportunity. He added, so I got a lot of opportunities there. And I'm going to tell you this. This is just about every single company in the United, because at the end of the day, these companies, they are about their money.
Money. Hey.
So if you're adding value and you're helping them raise up their bottom lines, then they will give you more. Like, the opportunities are yours. They're there. The opportunities are there in every single company. It is up to you if you're going to embrace it. People are always talking about, oh, start your own business. Do you know that your own business is 24/7? If you were to put in an hour, 2 hours more a week into work, start a little like 15, 30 minutes earlier than other people, stay 15, 30 minutes later, how much more work you get done and how much more value. And now you get so much more opportunity. When they ask you to do something, you say yes, and you figure it out. And now with AI, opportunities are endless, right? Because while Gen Z and millennials workers are rewriting the rules of corporate life, they are not. Demanding flexibility, autonomy, and strict boundaries around me time, Chip Chandler isn't convinced you can reach the C-suite without long hours and sacrifice. Yup. Every one of us has to make certain work-life choices. The Gen X boss said the Gen X boss. This work-life choice obviously has certain consequences. I wasn't there for all of my son's tennis matches. If you want to work 8 to 5, coach your kids' sports teams, have the evenings for yourself, and maybe another hobby or interest. That's awesome. Chip Chandler adds, but he caveats that he's never spoken to a peer who doesn't have a similar routine and level of balance as him. And I'll tell you this, right? There are 24 hours in a day. I think that outside of the work 8 to 5, right? I don't believe 8 to 5 only, but like if you wanted to coach your kids' sports team, I don't know what it means to have evenings to yourself. Like I don't handle the Devil's Workshop. Have another hobby or interest. You can still do it, and you can still run it up because there are 24 hours in a day. I go to jiu-jitsu 3 times a week for about, let me see, the total time it takes me is probably about 3 hours out of those days, right? But and this probably contributes to me going to sleep late, which is making me harder to wake up early. But I get back from there and I jump back and I do some more work, not necessarily for my company, but it could be work for myself. But I get back to work, and I'm always investigating. Maybe I'm building apps on Lovable, maybe I'm doing research, maybe I'm on Devon doing some updates, whatever the case may be. Always looking to add a little bit more, get things a little bit more done, right? And that is the mindset of winning. One of the quotes that I will never forget was from the book Winning by Tim Grover, where he had to go to an event, maybe to train somebody, and his daughter said, do you really have to go? And his response was, well, I have to go because I need to be able to put food on the table for your mom and for you, and maybe to put a roof over your head, stuff like that, right? And his daughter said, like, the most heartbreaking thing, which maybe a lot of people would cave, it says, well, if we eat less and get a smaller place, would you stay, right? And now the fairy tale story would be like, my heart broke, and I just I saw the tears in her eyes, and I just couldn't fathom leaving. So I canceled my trip and I stayed with my daughter, and all of that sentimental stuff. Aww. However, that is not what happened, all right? The book clearly says, Tim Grover clearly outlines that as he walked out the door to get in the car to go to the airport, he had a tear in his eye. His heart dropped a little, but he had to do what he had to do. And that is the thing. Like, you're good. Like, if you want to win, there's going to be things that you miss, right? There's going to be a lot of things that you make. There's going to be a lot of things that you miss, but and it's about having that right supporting cast around you that is going to make all the changes, all the things in the world. So I get it. I totally get it, what he's saying, right? So the day in the life of Twilio CEO, while his early mornings were once about getting ahead of the competition, now that he's running a $16 billion company with over 5,500 employees, it's about getting ahead of his calendar. Most other people aren't up, so it allows me to just get a lot of work done. That is 100% true. Because you don't have these Slack messages coming in, you don't have, but maybe not, because if he's an international company, probably has some employees in other places, but you don't have the Slack messages coming through. You don't have to, you can just go through your emails, you can go and plan, you can get ready for meetings, stuff like that. Look and see which calls I'm going to be on, who am I going to be meeting face to face with. Fortune got the lowdown on his daily routine. 4:30 a.m. Ship Chandler is awake and is scanning Slack. I call it Slack. Emails and texts for any red hot issues that need immediate attention. From there, he has the same daily routine: a coffee, breakfast, usually a smoothie, a skim of the news headlines, and then a workout immediately after, and always in that very specific order. And like, this is the thing, right? Once you have that set pattern, that set routine, it becomes like clockwork. You still put it in your calendar, but it becomes like clockwork because you just know what to do and you're on autopilot. And that's why he keeps that same exact order. 7:30 a.m. Ship Chandler is officially at work ahead of most of the Twilio engineers, who he says typically start at 9. 6:30 p.m. he takes a dinner break either at home with the family or with a customer or senior leader when out of town. I tend to be on the road about 75% of the time, but same routine. So regardless of if he's home or on the road, same routine. 4:30 a.m. check Slack, email, get ready for red hot issues, meetings, coffee, breakfast, smoothie, workout, and then at 7:30 he is working. So for between 4:30 and 7:30 he's getting ready for his day, getting his workout in, all that good stuff, and at 7:30 he is at work, right? Let's see, 8 p.m. he squeezes in about an hour of extra work before winding down with 20 to 30 minutes of Sports Center when traveling, or whatever his wife falls asleep to the fastest when he is at home. He jokes 9:30. I need to get a 9:30 bedtime. But it is so hard for me because by the time I get home from jiu-jitsu on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, it is like 10 o'clock. But if I can get home, jump in the shower, maybe if I get home, jump in the ice bath, that cools my body down, jump in bed, and not do anything else, and then wake up at 4:30 a.m. to actually get some additional work done. To start if I can go straight to bed and so wake up at 4:30 to actually get to work for my personal work, it might be a game changer. So I have to take a look at that, right? Weekends. Ship Chandler rises at 6:30 a.m. on the weekend. While his routine is a little more relaxed on weekends, 6:30 is a little bit more relaxed, right? He still works mostly Sundays. It's the nature of the job. I'm usually thinking about work, and the gap that I allow for me to not think about work is 6 to 8 hours on Saturdays. Here's a question, right? If you're not actively doing something with your family, right? If you're not actively doing something with your family at an event, whatever the case may be, what else will you be doing? Right? So for a CEO, for somebody who is like really about their business, like yesterday I was organizing like my business expenses and stuff like that, categorizing them, uploading receipts and stuff like that. But if you're not actively doing something with your family, what else are you doing? Let's say, I'll give you an example. I go to jiu-jitsu tournaments, right? I'll be competing and I'll be there. But if I don't have something planned to do in my calendar, then I'm gonna be. If I'm not actively doing something with my family, because I will not. I repeat, I will not just be sitting there staring at them for 8 hours out of a day. We need to have a plan, actively do something, if that makes any sense. But if I'm not, then I'm working. I can be sitting up there with them. We could be watching TV and I'm on my laptop working because I might not really care what's going on the TV, but I'm there. So if you ask me a question, I can answer it, stuff like that. But I am always in work mode, and I turn it off to spend time with the family. But if we're not doing something, then I'm working, right? Sorry, not sorry. High performance habits, running around the house to blow off steam in between meetings. When asked if he thinks work-life balance is possible at the top, Ship Chandler quickly responded, I do not. So if you want work-life balance, then you're not gonna get to the top, right? But that doesn't mean he doesn't let hours. That doesn't mean he lets hours slip away. I'm all for working smarter, he says, adding that as well as making the most of every productivity tool at his disposal. He leans heavily on high performance habits to stay focused. For example, he's very strict with his calendar and making time. I repeat, he's very strict with his calendar and making time to move throughout the day. I don't take meetings that I don't think drive the ball forward for the company, or that don't bring me energy. I typically only do 25-minute meetings in a 30-minute slot, or I only take 50-minute meetings in an hour slot. That's what we do. And in the time in between, I'll do maybe a quick lap around the house to get the blood flowing or get some fresh air. Maybe I'll just start doing that in between meetings. Maybe it might be weird though. Come to a meeting all sweaty. After a meeting, I'll go for a lap. After lunch, he always immediately hits the treadmill for 10 minutes of walking so that he doesn't get an afternoon of lull. He also maybe I'll do some burpees or some kettlebell swings. He also doesn't use social media and says that helps keep his focus. Ooh, that is an interesting one right there. I think habits really matter, Ship Chandler explains. When you have a set of habits, it allows you to kind of move through the work in a way in which is very intentional and don't let you a lot of distractions creep in. All right, so that is awesome. I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm gonna implement some of those features, some of those habits into my life once again. All right, but But it is time to get to our next piece of work. Favor says, same 24. Everyone has the same 24 hours. It just depends what you choose to do with those 24 hours. It's all up to you. It is all up to you. My energy is coming back. I am about to go beast mode for the end of this year. All right, let's jump into working. So our infrastructure at AWS is set up. Let me go and log into AWS. Let me log. I don't know if I need AWS, but I'm gonna log in anyways. I wish AWS would have a better policy to keep you logged in. I'm always getting logged off, and that really drives me crazy. Let's go here. Let's go here. Sign in. Gotta get a code. Let me see. Authenticator. And that's going to be sign in. All right, so we are inside of AWS. And I need to look up my Manus to see what is the next step in our migration. Let's see what we have running, because I think we have this running in ECS. So let's go to Elastic Container Service. And I believe are we in West? I guess we are in West. All right, so we have this. Let's go to RDB, is it? Aurora and RDS. We also have databases. We have our Lovable database running. I don't know why I need to update it to run in US East 1. But fair enough. So we have our database running. We did the Terraform a few weeks ago. Let's go and do. All right, so now let me find my Manus. Let's search for. See if I can find it. There we go. So how to deploy a Lovable app. So we have our Terraform is done, right? We need to get into the migrating the database. So database migration guide, Supabase to RDS to AWS RDS Aurora. So and here's what I want you guys to understand. What I'm doing right now, I am templatizing how to get a Lovable built application into Supabase or into AWS. But I'm also going to find out how to get into other platforms, right? Like, watch this. Quick search. Can we deploy a Lovable and Supabase built app to, what is the name of that? To DigitalOcean. All right. Let's see. Yes, it's possible to deploy an application built with Lovable and Supabase to DigitalOcean. Lovable is a platform that uses AI to build web applications. So DigitalOcean app platform, that would be the Docker container, and then DigitalOcean Droplets self-host. You can deploy your Lovable generated application and self-host your Supabase instance on DigitalOcean. And DigitalOcean is pretty damn cheap because AWS is pretty expensive. So I'm creating templates. I'm creating guides on, if I build these applications, what's going to be the best place to deploy it to, right? Let me put up my 20 minutes as well.
Let's go! Let's go!
But let's figure out the AWS one for now, and then in subsequent shows, we'll figure out how to get it for other environments like DigitalOcean, maybe Vercel, maybe Google Cloud, whatever the case may be, based on what you're trying to deploy. If you're, let's say you use AWS, you have a big application, then you deploy it there. Let's say you're a small startup, you want to start off with DigitalOcean, with Vercel, with Netafly, you can deploy it there. And now We also see, and this is the key, right? We can easily spin up a consulting service to do these migrations for people who don't want to be stuck on one particular platform, right? Because my goal, from what I've seen, right, we did some research on our vibe code and chill, where there is not a great way, and it really bit me yesterday, but there's not a great way to to develop new features on Lovable and have your site live if you're hosting at the same place, right? So I'm like, well, maybe I can just use Lovable as my development environment. And now as we build, now we set up a CI/CD pipeline where I like it when I publish, that publish kicks off a workflow that's going to actually get it to wherever it's being hosted to be live, right? So that's going to be something, and this is pure DevOps. This is the heart of DevOps, right? And that's why I love working on this on Sundays. But anyways, let's take a look at how we're going to do this integration, introduction to migration. Let's go. So I think I already read this stuff. All right, so let's see what this is. So pre-migration assessment and planning. Database schema analysis and compatibility. The first critical step in the migration process involves a comprehensive analysis of the existing Supabase database schema to identify potential compatibility issues and optimization opportunities. This analysis must examine the table structure, indexes, constraints, functions, triggers, and any Supabase specific feature that may require special handling during the migration process. Postgres compatibility between Supabase and Aurora is generally excellent since both platforms use Postgres as the underlying database engine. However, Supabase includes several extensions and configurations that may not be available. All right, we read that last time. Custom functions. All right, so what am I supposed to do with this one, right? Functions that, all right, so these functions must be evaluated for compatibility. So here's I'm going to give you a preview of how I use these large language models, right? So I'm going to say I am trying to migrate my database, or I'm trying to migrate everything that I have in Supabase for a project of mine to AWS corresponding resources, right? In the current process that I'm following, it said that I should check the compatibility between AWS, Postgres, and Supabase. I was provided this script below, but I'm not sure where or how I should execute it. Can you provide me some additional insight? All right, so I'm going to copy the script as well and see what I'm supposed to do with it. All right, just like that, right there into Gemini. Shout out to Shadow over on Arena. I forgot to check Arena. Shout out to Shadow watching on Arena. Thank you so much for tuning in. How are you doing? Thank you so much for tuning in. Truly appreciate you. All right. So Gemini says, of course, you should run the script directly within your Supabase project's SQL editor. The script is designed to query the Postgres database internal catalogs to analyze the structure and features you're using. To get an accurate picture of your Supabase database, you must run it there. How to run the script: navigate to your Supabase project. And this is what I've been doing with with Gemini this past week that has made it a lifesaver and a game changer for me. All right. So how to do that? Understand the results. The script is excellent for a migration plan. It's broken down into parts, telling you something different about what you need to handle when moving to AWS. Part 1, general schema and extension analysis. The first query gives you a high-level summary of your database objects, total columns, total tables, total indexes. These are standard Postgres objects and should migrate with no issue. Total functions. This is a list of custom functions you've created. While the functions themselves will migrate, you must check if their code depends on any Supabase specific features. Total extensions. This is the most critical part. Supabase comes with many useful extensions pre-installed. PG GraphQL, PGNet, PG Sodium. This query lists the ones you are using. Okay, you must verify that your target AWS database version supports these exact extensions. If an extension is not available on AWS, any part of your application that relies on it will break. Oh man. Part 2, Supabase specific feature analysis. This section uses Union All to combine reports on features that have often deep integration with Supabase platform, RLS policies. This identifies all your row-level security policies. While RLS is a standard Postgres feature, in Supabase, your policies almost certainly rely on Subase's authentication system. Using AuthID, JWT, migration impact. When you move to AWS, the Supabase auth schema and its functions will be gone. You will need to implement your own authentication system like AWS Cognito and rewrite all RLS policies to work with your new system for passing user identity to databases. Triggers. This lists all your database triggers like functions. The triggers themselves will migrate, but you need to check their underlying logic that they call Supabase specific functions and foreign keys their standard database constraints without any issues. All right, cool. So I'm going to copy this code again, and I'm going to go to, let's go to Supabase. Let's see. All right, so we are going to jump into Supabase. Go to the SQL editor. We're going to paste that code right there. Just a bunch of selects. We are going to run the code. And we have an issue. Says schema name column does not exist. Huh. So I'm going to say, all right, so I'm going to go back to Gemini. It says when I try to run that in Supabase, I am getting this error. Ah, crap. Hold on, stop that. Sometimes I mean to press enter or shift enter, and I just press enter and it is an absolute mess. All right, so let's go here. At least with Gemini, it's easy to stop it. You found a bug in the script. The error message is spot on. The problem is that the script is trying to select columns named schema name and table names from internal Postgres, where the actual column name is are different NSP name and rel name. Interesting. There was a similar issue in the second part of the script. So I like Gemini. It gives you the whole fixed corrected script. So we are going to copy that. We're going to paste it into Supabase. We're going to run it. What? That's what see, this is the thing that I love. I love this. All right. So now that we have this information here, we have all these details. If I say copy as markdown, and I am going to go back to Gemini, and I'm going to say, I I got the result from Supabase in Markdown. Can you analyze it and tell me how easy or difficult, or let's say, and tell me how we can step by step get started with the migration. And I'm paste this and submit. And now it's doing the investigation for me. I just have to figure out how to actually do the work. There you go. Excellent. This analysis provides a clear roadmap for your migration. Your application heavily relies on 3 core Supabase features: authentication, fair, triggers for business logic, and by extension, likely storage and real time. Here's analysis and step-by-step plan to migrate these features to their AWS equivalent. Analysis of your Supabase features, authentication, and RLS. This is your biggest task. Your security model is built entirely around Supabase auth schema and its likely helper functions like auth UID, auth role. Almost every table in your public schema is tightly coupled to the auth users table. You also have a custom has role function that is central to your admin permissions. AWS equivalent Amazon Contigo for user management and authentication, combined with a custom solution to enforce your RLS policies. You have a critical trigger on auth user created, which runs the handle new user function. This is a common Supabase pattern to create a profile entry for each user. AWS equivalent that's hard to say. Alanda. N AWS Lambda function triggered by Contigo post confirmation event. Storage in real time. Presence of schemas indicate you are using Supabase storage in real time. Equivalent, AWS equivalent, Amazon S3 for storage objects, and AWS AppSync for real time GraphQL subscriptions. Interesting. We are diving deep into a whole other realm, a whole other sector, right? And I think that if we were to use Supabase to build, I wonder something I just thought of, right? If the app is using Supabase, I mean, I still want to do this, right? But I'm just thinking, if the app is running off another environment that is connected to Supabase, to Supabase branch, and Lovable is being used as your dev environment, then you can set up that CI/CD and still use Supabase. So it's just a thought, a holistic thought. But there's so many ways to do it that I'm thinking about, and it just depends on what it is that you need to do to set that up, right? But anyways, whatever. So set up AWS infrastructure. Let's see. Create a VPC. We already got that. Provision the database. Already got that. Create an Amazon Contigo user pool. Let's see if we have that. So where's my AWS? Let's see. I never looked at Amazon Contigo before. Contigo? Huh. Oh, just Contigo. I don't see it. It's called Amazon Contigo? Oh, Cognito. Amazon Cognito. No wonder I couldn't find it. Contigo is that the brand of those water bottles and coffee mugs. All right, Contigo. Consumer identity. Add sign-in and sign-up experiences to your app. with Amazon Contigo, you can add secure authentication and authorization to your application. Contigo scales to support millions of users. It's free up to 10,000 monthly active users. What? All right. So I thought I created some. Did I create anything with the user pools? Let's see. I don't have any user pools. All right. So, I mean, we would want to do this with Terraform, I suppose, right? Where's my Gemini? All right. So, configure email identity providers, email password, Google, etc. to match what you had in Supabase. Okay. And then export the schema from Supabase. Use pgdump utility to export only the schema, not the data of your public and other custom schemas. You don't need the auth, storage, or real-time schemas. How do I do that? Modify the schema. This is a critical step. Before importing to RDS, you must edit the exported SQL file, remove foreign keys to auth users, find all foreign key constraints that reference to auth users. This is some serious stuff at this point. All right, so let's see. All right, so let's set up the authentication first, right? Can I use Terraform to set up the Amazon Cognito user pool? Do I need to do anything in Terraform to configure the identity providers? Right. So let's see what we get out of that one. All right. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. It is recommended best practice using Terraform to manage your Amazon Contigo user pool allows you to codify your entire authentication setup, making it repeatable, version controlled, and easy to manage across. I want to Terraform all my stuff, right? How to set up Contigo with Terraform. Here's a breakdown of essential Terraform resources. So, let's see. So this is the code. Pool, my app user pool, minimum length, require lowercase, require numbers, require cool, add custom attributes if needed. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Custom attributes, environment production, configure the identity management. Interest. Oh, that's interesting. So Amazon Secrets Manager for the Google credentials, the OAuth credentials. Interesting. That is very interesting. The authorized scopes. Oh my goodness. I remember. And here's the thing, right? Doing this in Supabase, it gives you a. This is so cool. This is absolutely amazing because doing this in Supabase, it pretty much does everything for you. But now you get to see, now when you want to migrate it, you get to see how this actually works and you get to actually build it yourself, the infrastructure. If you need to do any additional code, it's going to walk us through it. Super duper cool. Create the user pool. Finally, your application needs a client to interact with the user pools. Okay.
Lunch break. Lunch break.
Interesting. And then callback URLs to redirect. Okay. So all this stuff goes into Terraform. So pretty much Terraform is configuring most of the application. I will hold off on the OAuth for now until we can just get the user pool set up. I'm gonna say real quick, in my Terraform, in my current Terraform, so let's take a look at this real quick. We have the modules set up, and then we have the environment set up. So in my current Terraform, we have the folder for modules and the folder for environments. Right now, I'm setting up the dev environment. How could, or I'm going to add a can you provide me the code to set up the Cognito, as a module, and provide me the code to set it up in my different environments. This is the content of my main.tf for my dev environment. Boom. Right, so I just provided that information so it can give me more specific information, how to set up as a module, what information I need to put into my dev main.tf file, and we can go from there. But it is break time. Let me see, check arena. No, nothing new over here. All right, cool. We're gonna go into our last break time topic. All right. I saw this article. I wanted to review it real quick. It was about the Army and their use. So the Army invests in unmanned ISVs. I don't even know what an ISV is. So I said, you know what? We can learn more about it together. So let's jump into it. Put up 5 minutes on the clock. It says, Army taps 3 companies to take ISVs unmanned. ISVs unmanned. It says, this effort will serve, and this is brought to us by Breaking Defense. This effort will serve as an opportunity for the Army to assess the reliability of commercial autonomy and their ability to drive real operational value to soldiers in the field. So, and this article is written by Ashley Roke. Let's read this, right? It says, so this is coming from Washington. 3 companies have secured prototype contracts with the U.S. Army to test the viability of turning infantry support vehicles, so infantry support vehicles, ISVs, into autonomous vehicles, the service announced today. I don't know exactly what that means, but that sounds absolutely awesome. This effort will serve as an opportunity for the Army to assess the reliability of commercial autonomy and their ability to deliver real operational value to soldiers in the field. Colonel Ken Bernier, the project manager for Future Battles Battle Platform, said in a LinkedIn post, under a new unmanned system autonomy initiative, the trio Forterra, Overland AI, and Scout AI received a total of $15.5 million to rapidly integrate their commercial autonomy solutions into existing ISVs and deeper prototype to Army soldiers for demonstration and evaluation by May of 2026. So basically, okay, so let me see. Let me copy this. What are used for? So infantry support vehicles provide infantry squads with the enhanced mobility, firepower, and protection on the battlefield, allowing them to move faster, carry weapons, and survive threats like small arms, fire, and anti-tank weapons. These vehicles act as a mobile deployment point and a platform for delivering covering fire, increasing a small unit's overall combat effectiveness by quickly traversing difficult terrains or filling the gap between foot soldiers and heavily armed vehicles. Let me take a look at some of these images, right? Wait, which one is which? So this is, all right. So they say this is an infantry fighting vehicle. But I guess these are also Army infantry squad vehicle. Which one is which? Which one is which? Is it a tank or is it like one of these pickup trucks? Anyways, whatever. But it's either one. It's one of these. All right. All right. So it says under a new unmanned system autonomy initiative, the trio. Okay, we read that part. We are looking forward to seeing how our industry partners' autonomy solutions perform with vehicles while performing relevant military missions, said Bernier. We remain committed to bringing the best technologies to our warfighters and shaping the future of autonomous mobility for our Army at an unprecedented speed. Those demonstrations the Army office wrote will be used to help leaders decide on a path forward for autonomous and unmanned ground systems and area the service has struggled for decades. And because we already have the drones, right? We have the drones already in the sky. I made a post on X today about how I think one of the most overlooked and underrated jobs is drone pilots, because there are so many different jobs relating to drones, where you can have your own business, you can work for somebody, but they have like the drone real estate photography. I told you about how the cops are using drones, fire rescues using drones, lifeguards are using drones, food delivery, store delivery. So many different people are using drones. And so I think there's going to be a boom in drones, but now they're introducing about the unmanned ground systems using autonomous vehicles as well. So that's going to be pretty awesome, right? Stephanie Bonk, the co-founder and president of Overland AI, told Breaking Defense that her company will be integrating its autonomous stack that's called Overdrive into ISVs along with the hardware component called Spark. Then the upgraded ISVs from Overland will be bound for soldiers inside the 3rd Brigade, 10th Mountain Division at Fort Polk for testing over a 6-month period, which will include a combat training center rotation. We really see this as a springboard for ground autonomy in the Army, Bonk told Breaking Defense on Wednesday. This is going to really define where the Army is going in the future. Whether it continues to be ISVs or...
Back to work, chop, chop, let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work, back to work, back to work.
Or some other vehicle. Collins Otis, Scout AI's co-founder and chief technology officer, called today's announcement a super positive step for the service as it goes after next generation AI systems alongside legacy obstacles avoidance systems. For us, it's been super positive to see them rapidly onboarding that technology. He added, it's obviously at a lower it's obviously a lot lower cost. It's a lot higher capacity, and it is already at rate in terms of production and manufacturing. I would love to see that. I would love to see this. In a similar vein, Forterra's vice president for defense business development, Pat Acock, said, "What was the CEO too busy to meet with business with Breaking Defense? Come on." It said the company is honored to be moving ahead with UXS. Our job is straightforward: build systems that work in the field and make the soldiers' mission easier, not harder, he wrote in a short statement. I think that's awesome. I think that is absolutely awesome and incredible. Moment of truth. What do we do now? Do we do one more session, or do we wrap it up for today? I'm going to do one more session. I want to see if we can get this Amazon Contigo or Cognito set up through Terraform, and if so, that'll be a great wrapping up point. We don't even have to take the full 20 minutes, but no more than 20 minutes before we wrap up the show. All right, let's throw up our last 20 minutes.
It's time to do.
Let's go over to Gemini, and we're gonna go over here. And let's go to, all right, so creating a reusable Cognito module. I keep saying Contigo. Cognito module is a great way to maintain consistency across your environments. Here's the code, the complete code to create a flexible Cognito module and then integrate it into your dev environment setup. Shout out to my guy Junior. Said, do it. Do it. Do you remember the movie? God, what movie was that? Oh my goodness. Where it's Ben Stiller, but he's like, do it. Do it. Was it what was the movie where he was the cop with Owen Wilson? What was that movie name? Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson, cop movie. Harsky and Scutch, or Starsky and Hutch, when he's like, this one right here, this one right here. Just play it. That's not. Let's not play. Let's not play that. I mean, the sound wasn't working. Anyways, so let's do this. All right. So, let's go ahead and create our Cognito module, and we're gonna go to. All right. Let me go to this screen over here, and I'll just do it while I'm over here. So let's go to modules. We're gonna create a new folder, directory. We're gonna call that Cognito. And we are going to say variables.tf. Do variables. Dot. Oh, come on. Let's do refactor, rename variables.tf. And inside of that, it's going to be project name. Let's call the name of the project. I think that stays the same. And then we are going to go over to, so in here we have, let's see what we have inside this variables file. We have project name, environment, callback URLs, logout URLs, domain, prefixes, identity providers, tags. All right, cool. Next up, we're going to go inside of our main folder. We're going to create our main.tf. Main. We're going to paste that. And we have, so take the project name, environment, user pool. Smart. So we don't have to define all these little details here. It's just going to take it from our project name and our environment, which is being passed on through our dev environment. I think it's under TFRs over here. Project name, Lovable app, yada, yada, yada. All right, perfect. And so all I have to do is update this really, and it's going to be in the right region. But anyways, whatever. Let's see. We got, all right. So now, we got that. So inside of this file, inside of our, why am I in the main? So inside of our Cognito main, we have our password policy. We have MFA. It can be if you want multi-factor authentication. For now, let's leave it off. Let's see our resources. So the user pool domain. Not really sure. Create a domain for the Cognito hosted UI. I don't know what that means. I don't really know what that means yet. Dynamically create. Let's ask. I'm gonna ask Gemini what that means. Dynamically create identity providers based on the variable. That one makes sense. Which we will be migrating at some point. Username, attribute mapping. Let's see. Create the user pool for your client application. All right. I'm gonna go over to Gemini real quick, and let's see. It says I'm new to using Amazon Cognito. What does this mean? Honestly, this was the first time I'm hearing about, not working on this project, looking how to migrate. It was the first time I heard about using Amazon Cognito. What's up, George Gibson? Welcome. George Gibson asks, all right, that's all right, press it. George Gibson asks, what made you migrate from Supabase? So I'm not 1,000% migrating from Supabase, but I want to have the option, the ability. So part of the reason that I am setting up how to migrate from Supabase is because I was working on a project for my job where I built something in Lovable and I set up Supabase, engineering metrics dashboard, right? And I have all my own personal data in that engineering metrics dashboard, my Jira, my GitHub. But I wanted to see how, if the company wanted to use it, how I could migrate it into our own ecosystem so that we could use it there. And so I'm like, and then as I'm doing, I'm like, you know what? I could entirely templatize the whole process. Where right now we're setting it up for AWS, but now after I have my, because there is nothing in this actual project, in the actual Terraform, I mean, that is specific to the project. So now I can say, okay, oh, I want to deploy this to Amazon. Boom, unleash this Terraform. Oh, I want to deploy this to Google. Boom, unleashes Terraform for Google. Oh, I want to set this up on DigitalOcean or Vercel or whatever. Boom, hit this Terraform, and now we have our infrastructure in place. Another reason that I kind of, someone wants to migrate from Supabase in certain instances is that when using Lovable, there is not a good way to like, and it's more of a Lovable issue than a Supabase issue. But I don't want to like pay extra money for Supabase for the same project, but I don't have a way to have a testing environment in Supabase. So yesterday I'm making some changes on a project and it's affecting the live project. So I had to go and rush a deployment to fix the database based on what happened. So I don't like that. I don't like, you should always have a separate environment for your database. And right now I feel like I'm constricted to having this one database that's being used for testing and for production. And that is a big no-no in my book as somebody who's been a Q engineer for the past 15, 16 years. That is a big no-no. So I'm trying to find my ways to work around that. But that's the main reason that I'm migrating from Supabase, but in a way, but not really. I'm still going to be using it, but for production environments, I might take it somewhere else. So, but it just depends on if we're able to do this whole change, right? Great question. Shout out to you. All right. So we have, that's a good question for someone new to Contigo. It's a core so, all right. So I had asked, like, what does that mean in Contigo? So that's a great question for someone new to Cognito. It's a core concept. In simple terms, the Cognito hosted UI is a secure pre-built set of web pages that Amazon provides to handle user sign. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I didn't know that. Think of it like this: when you go to a website and click login with Google, you are temporarily redirected to a google.com page. You to enter your password, you're not logging into a website itself, but on a secure page hosted by Google. Cognito hosted UI is your own version of that Google login page hosted by Amazon. What creating the domain means, because the hosted UI is a real website, it needs a unique web address, a URL or a domain where users can be sent. When you create a domain for the Cognito hosted UI, you are essentially choosing a unique name that will be the web address for your login page. Interesting. I did not know that. In your Terraform code, domain prefix variable is used for this. Interesting. If you set the variable to my awesome app -dev, Terraform will create a login page with like this. It all works together. Interesting. How it all works together. Click login. A user visits your application and clicks login and redirects to Cognito. Your application's code doesn't show a username and password form. Instead, it redirects you to the user to the browser to the Cognito hosted UI. Interesting. This is interesting. Okay, that's good to know. That is great to know, actually. All right, so let's go back to over here, and we want to do. so we have that. Environment variables. All right, so I need to add these variables to the dev variables file. So let's go ahead and copy that. And we go back here. So if we go into we have our Cognito callback URLs, our Cognito logout URLs, and our domain prefix. Now the question is, okay, so now we need to have, so we're going to have to pass these values in our tf vars file. This goes into the main.tf. All right, we got that. We got all these things in here. Is it there? Hold on, where is it? Do we have it in there? I don't think we do. All right, so let me go ahead and copy those resources. So data source to get Google OAuth. This goes into the main.tf. And I'm going to comment these out for now because we're not using these at the moment. We're not using this at the moment. We have, all right, so we have our modules. We have our Cognito. How did it find? So it's dot, all right, dot slash, very good with that. Project name, environment, callback URLs, and then these should all be getting used in the let me see, variables. We have that there. Let's go to, yeah, cool. All right, so that is that. Let's see if, what else, is there anything else we need to do? I think we're good. I think we're good. So let's go ahead and do a Terraform plan out TF plan. Ooh, something's not good. Main.tf. So I have an issue in my main.tf. Okay. That should be in there too. All right, cool. So now, so let's see if we can get this pool created. This module is not yet installed. We're going to Terraform init to install all. All right, so Terraform init. Because it's a new module, we got to do Terraform init again. And now, if we do tf plan out, domain prefix for the dev config hosted UI must be globally unique. Let's call it TCR dev engineering dashboard. All right, so now we're going to do Terraform apply tf. All right, so I want to show you this, right? I want to show you this. If we go back over here, Amazon. There is no pools created, right? No pools created, right? Or click on here, user pools, identity pools, nothing, nada, zilch, all right? So I'm going to go back over here and we're going to do apply the plan. And our plan was pretty much applied. The errors are things that already exist. So now if we go back over here and we refresh, we have our user pool in the building. If we click it, we see, so if we were to go to, can I see the page? Maybe the page isn't available to see yet. But you can do, so, which it opens up the opportunity to have MFA, use the sign in with like OAuth, set up passwordless sign-ins if we wanted to do it, add sign-ins with social providers. That's the Google and stuff like that. So that should be able to integrate, right? All right. So now that we're done with the setting up our pool, so I'm gonna say now that we have successfully created our Cognito pool, what would be the next step for the migration? The crucial next step is to create an AWS Lambda that links new Cognito signups to your database. This function will replace the Supabase trigger you had on auth users created that automatically created a profile. The goal of replicating Supabase handle new user trigger. Let's see. Your new AWS setup will work like this. User sign up on Contigo hosted UI. After the user confirms their account, Cognito automatically triggers the AWS Lambda. Your function code returns or runs and connecting to your RDS database. The function executes an insert statement to create a row in your public profiles table using the data from the new Contigo user. Write the Lambda. Write the Lambda function. You'll need to write a small piece of code to handle the database insertion node. Node.js is a great choice for this. The code will need to fetch database creation or database credentials securely from AWS Secrets Manager. Okay. Okay. All right. There's only 40 seconds left, so I'm gonna stop right there. Next week we'll jump into this part, creating the Lambda and all of that good stuff. So we're gonna do the Lambda code next week, and go from there. Quite frankly, we're gonna go from there, right? But that is it. That is it for today. Did a lot of work. We learned about the Stripe products, using Manus to get recommendations for the best user experience for signup flows. AWS.
Lunch break. Lunch break.
AWS Cognito for user management. It can that's going to be our user migration from Supabase to AWS. We'll also be looking in the future, how can we do this on other platforms as well? All right. Yeah, that's it. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap it up for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Truly, truly appreciate you guys for spending the past couple of hours, hour and a half with me. We remember tomorrow we are going to be premiering Candid Conversations. I'm going to be talking about, I found out how AI is going to be taking your job and how you can prevent that from happening. So tune in noon Eastern time. It's going to be really, really good. Do me a favor on your way out, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell every time we go live and drop new content. Check out resumeflow.app, sign up today, upload your resume, get feedback, get see how well you match towards the job that you're wanting to apply for. techcoachdraft.dev. We're going to be going. I have a Scrum night in about 40 minutes, which I'll be uploading this week to the Patreon, and then we have a vibe coding show this coming Saturday inside of the Patreon as well. So looking forward to seeing you there, as you're going to have a great time as always. But that is it. I'm going to get out of here. You guys have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. If you're off tomorrow for Labor Day, have a wonderful Labor Day. Let me say goodbye to my friends in the chat. Junior says, great show as usual. Thank you so much, Junior.
I appreciate you.
Shout out to George Gibson as well for tuning in and asking me that phenomenal question about why migrating from Supabase. Not a full migration, but having the know-how. I like to have the know-how for when the need comes. I'm not scrambling at the time. So thought a hat looked funny over there. It does look funny. But yeah, so just so I can have the know-how at the time and we're not scrambling at that point. Shout out to Magnetar for and good luck on, please show us Math GPT on our next Vibe Code and Chill, because I'm curious to see how it works and to see how much you like it, all of that good stuff. But that's it. I will see you guys tomorrow. You guys have, I almost forgot. Shout out to Favor as well. Happy that you are done with your summer classes. Hopefully that everything went well. Happy to have you back. But until then, until next time, you guys have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Wonderful Labor Day, Tech with Ralph. We are out.
Spartans! What is your profession?
You said it was Mandy, but it's still the same. Words like bandages that don't stop the pain. I held your words like glass in my hands, sharp truths and smooth demands. You said you meant the cracks I see, but promises break so easily. I trusted the stars, but they all fell down. Every promise made just spins around. The truth feels fake, the lies too real. I'm caught in the loop, I can't unfeel.
I reach, but it slips away. Truths turn shadows in the light of day.
I don't know what to believe anymore. Every fix just opens another door. Confidence feels like a hollow sound. I look for answers, but they can't be found. You paint the sky with a perfect hue, a shade of trust that fades to blue. I step forward, fall right through. Your mirror's cracked and so are you.
Tell me, what's the game? Truth and lies, they sound the same. Every time I think I've won, I'm back where I begun.
I built my faith like a house of sand, each grain slipping through my open hand. Your confidence is a polished mask, hiding the answers I forgot to ask. I don't know what to believe anymore. Every fix just opens another door. Confidence feels like a hollow sound. I look for answers, but they can't be found. Is it me who's blind or you who lies? Is it hope or hurt that keeps me tied? I'm a thread unraveling in the storm, trying to find where I was once born. stumbled, we fought, but still we stand. There's no better place than this promised land.
From the mountains high to the prairie's edge, to the rivers wide where the eagles pledge. This is the land that holds our dreams, a patchwork quilt with golden seams.
The small town streets, the city lights, the mountain peaks, the starry nights. We've got our scars, but that's the truth. A story of strength in the land of youth.
Oh, we've got our scars, but we wear them proud. Through the darkest nights we've never bowed. No storm can break what's built so strong. This is our home, where we all belong.
Fields of amber, skies of blue. Every hand here has work to do. We stumble, fall, but we rise again. This is the heartland where hope won't end.
Oh, we've got our scars, but we wear them proud. Through the darkest nights we've never bowed. No storm can break what's built so strong. This is our home, where we all belong. Through trials deep, through fires and rain, we stand as one. Endure the pain, our spirits fierce. Our hearts are free, forever strong. Our destiny.
So here's to the future, bright and true. We'll carry the torch for me and you. United we are, through thick and thin. In this great nation, we always win.
Oh, we've got our scars, but we wear them proud. Through the darkest nights we've never bowed. No storm can break what's built so strong. This is our home, where we all belong. From the rivers wide to the desert sands, we've built our dreams. With these two hands we might bend, but we never break. A spirit of hope no storm can take.